Happy Thursday, fellow Drinking Mommies. I'm Whitney, one of the co-founders of the group Drinking Mommies, and joining us today, we've got two fellow Drinking Mommies, my sister Michelle, who's calling in from Washington State, and Kate, who reoccurring guest on our show, and also one of the co-founders of our group. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the stereotypes as well as the challenges facing working moms and stay-at-home moms, which, as a lot of us have known in the past, you get people who have very strongly worded opinions on both sides of the matter, and they often try to pit the two against each other. So for our dynamic today, we're kind of unique in the sense that all three of us have been working moms as well as stay-at-home moms. So we're going to offer you some of the stereotypes, the challenges, and the insights that we have all learned through many years of experience. Many years of experience.
Many.
So kind of starting off in the group, I've held different professions over the years. Many people probably don't know, but I actually started off as being a stay-at-home mom and a military spouse, two, one and the same. Kate was also a military spouse at one point, as well as my sister. All three of us. And so another thing in common, being a stay-at-home mom, like, how do you feel, Michelle, about how people perceived you as being a stay-at-home mom versus how they perceived you as being a working mom, like some of the negative stereotypes involved?
So I was a stay-at-home mom with my son Tanner from birth until he was 4, and then I worked for 12 years, and just recently, a couple months ago, I'm back stay-at-home mom, trying to decide, am I going to stay a stay-at-home mom, or am I going to go back to school and get a job? When I was a stay-at-home mom, when Tanner was little, it was no problem because he was little. That's what stay-at-home moms do, and nobody really gave me a hard time. But now that I'm a stay-at-home mom and my kids are full-time in school, I get all the time, well, what are you doing? Well, what are you going to do? Aren't you bored? I get questioned all the time. Very different now.
That's honestly one of the things that I've come to find, is that no matter which hat I wore, there was always someone that was criticizing me. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I would get people saying, don't you want to do something with your life? Like, that was the buzzword I absolutely hated. Do you want to do something with your life? Don't you feel like you're just wasting your life, just staying at home? And then when I was working, I would get criticism from people saying, well, you're wasting your time because your kids are growing up so fast. And I get that. Kids do grow up fast, but I was called selfish. I was called not a good mom. And it was frustrating because it was like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Like, we can't win for anything, whether we're working or whether we're staying home. It's like we cannot win because there's constantly those questions. Well, what are you going to do with your life? Are you bored? Do you want to do anything bigger and better with your life? Now, in my opinion, raising kids is one of the biggest and best things that we can possibly do. Raising these little human beings to become functioning adults in society and actually make a difference, that's a huge impact that we have as mothers. But then the flip side of it, when you're working, people think that you're not able to raise your children properly, which is so bonkers. Like, you're still investing all of this time, all of this energy, all of this love into these little humans to make them functioning and productive adults. It's those little stereotype things, just those questions really piss me off.
You know, one of the things that I noticed when I was a working mom was some of the hardest criticism I got was actually from the school district. And I don't know if either one of you got that as well, but there was one particular memory that sticks out in my brain where I was getting ready. This is when I was an officer in the U.S. Army. I was getting ready to head out the door with my son, and he was desperately grabbing cans from my pantry. And I'm like, Gavin, we need to go. We need to get out the door now. And he starts having almost a panic attack. I'm like, Gavin, what is wrong? And he looks at me and he's just like, I need to get cans because for every can that I give, I get a sticker on the board next to my name, which means that I can get a prize. And I'm like, oh, okay. And at first it never registered with me. And then when I had a parent-teacher conference, I remember sitting down and looking at the board, and Gavin had like 2 stars next to his name, and all these other kids had a shit ton of stars. And I asked the teacher, well, hey, what's going on with that? My son said it was for a food drive. And she's like, well, we also award points to moms who come in and help out.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I looked at her and I was just like, I do not have the time to do that. I am working. So you're punishing my son from getting rewards because I can't come in like other moms can. And I remember going home, I'm not gonna lie, I cried that night. I felt like a piece of shit. And it just blew my mind that even at an environment like school, that someone would even think to do that. Like, Kate, have you ever experienced that?
Not to the same degree, no, but I can't do a lot of field trips. I can't do a lot of the chaperoning. So they'll send these newsletters home and permission slips and everything. And they're like, oh, we need chaperones. And if I'm not working that day, I will sign up to be a chaperone. But they get too many chaperones because of all of the stay-at-home moms that are able to go. They'll get too many chaperones, so then they'll do like a lottery type thing. And if it's my only chance to go on any school field trip, to chaperone any field trip for the entire year, and I don't get chosen in that lottery, like that sucks. Because then I miss out on that experience with them. I miss out on being able to go into the school and do everything fun with her. But I mean, I've been chosen for my older daughter's field trip in the lottery this year. So that was good. But
that's one of the things I think that people get absent-minded about, is that there are differences between the two. So like with you, my sister, Michelle, she does some really cool party planning stuff. And actually you just did like this whole rain theme with Taylor's school.
Yeah, I went in yesterday. It was fun.
So with you, have you felt that way with the schools, like not being very understanding to working moms, or maybe giving priority to stay-at-home moms?
Nope, no difference for me. Not at least in our school district. It's been great both ways.
That's good. That's good. Now, for being a stay-at-home mom and a working mom, like what were some of the biggest challenges, Michelle, that you saw from being able to manage time with, the kiddos compared to when you're a stay-at-home mom and being able to find time for yourself? Like,
I think when you're a working mom, it's so difficult when you have children because they're usually always the first priority, even though we should prioritize ourselves and do things for ourselves. I've always struggled with the kids and my husband, like putting them first before me, and still I kind of feel that way. And then I catch myself like, okay, you need to do things for yourself also. So it's something I've kind of always struggled with, because when you're a working mom, your time is so limited in the evenings when you're off, or whatever your schedule is, that when the kids are in sports and things are going on, that's the time goes there. So I think a working mom, it's even harder to find time for yourself. Well, I guess it depends on age. For me now, my kiddos are in full day. So being at stay at home right now, it's easy to find stuff for me, and I'm doing a good job at that. If I had littles at home, that could be difficult too, though. So I don't know, it just depends on the woman and her kid, situation and how old her kids are, I think. But for me, that's how it's been.
And I think that that's what it comes down to, it is that everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different, and to just be accepting of the fact that some people want to be stay-at-home moms, some moms want to work. Some moms are in situations where they don't have a choice in the matter. Either like we talked about before, Kate, childcare can come and be expensive, where it's like a wash,
Oh yeah.
Why work when literally all you're doing is paying child care? It gets ridiculous sometimes. So ladies, we're going to be closing up our remarks here soon. Do you have any last words that you'd like to say to everyone out there?
Working moms or stay-at-home moms, doesn't matter. You are a rock star mom. Find that little bit of time for yourself. Like Michelle was saying, find a little bit of time for yourself. I'm a working mom. I'm a single mom. The only time I have for myself is when I'm doing my makeup for 20 minutes every single morning, and I do that for me.
Right.
That's it.
How about you, Michelle? Any closing remarks?
I think just being mindful of whether it's a working mom or not working mom. Just know that we're all in this together. Most all moms, unless it's substance abuse or something else is going on in the picture, most all of us moms are just doing the best we can, and we all have gifts. Don't be jealous of another woman if she's fitter, more fit than you, or has better talents than you, or this or that. We all have our gifts that we are good at. And, give a woman a pat on the back if she's good at something, and give her a compliment. Don't be jealous of it and envious. And we're all in this together at the end of the day.
And I think that part's really important, especially when it comes to our time away. Either we take a vacation or we get like a spa day or something. Don't judge, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. As a mom, you might really need that time. So don't judge and say that they're neglecting their kids. I can't stand that crap. Biggest pet peeve, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise the kids. So why are we tearing each other down? We need to be lifting each other up and helping to support each other.
Hell yeah.
So
to all the drinking mommies in our group, thank you for joining us today. We are actually going to be taking on a kind of twist of the show topic next week, and we're going to be talking about moms who have either been single moms and moms who have had to go back and return to school, which are two completely different stereotypes, challenges, and topics for another date. Thank you for joining us. If you have any comments, please share them below. Please be sure to share the video. And if you have any show suggestions, feel free to let us know. So thank you for joining us, ladies. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.